How much longer can a fan base hold its breath, teetering on the precipice of anticipation and frustration, while the rest of the league makes its moves? Is this a masterclass in patience, a calculated gamble by a championship-proven front office, or a dangerous game of chicken with the ticking offseason clock? Because right now, the Golden State Warriors, a franchise synonymous with innovation and aggressive pursuit of excellence, stand as an anomaly, the sole team in the entire NBA yet to make a single offseason transaction. This isn't just a statistical quirk. It's a source of escalating anxiety, a perplexing silence that has the entire Dub Nation on edge. The summer began with a collective roar of expectation. Whispers of blockbuster trades, of A-list talent arriving in the Bay Area, of Jonathan Kuminga being the centerpiece of a sign-and-trade deal, filled the air. Fans envisioned a dynamic retooling, a strategic pivot to reassert dominance in a rapidly evolving Western Conference. Yet as the days turn into weeks and the calendar pages continue to flip, those whispers have faded into an eerie quiet. Nothing has happened, and now, fresh reports are shedding light on the perplexing stalemate, revealing a stubbornness within the Warriors' hierarchy that is not only halting their offseason, but potentially dictating their entire immediate future. This isn't just about a few roster spots. It's about the very identity of a team that once defined an era and the perplexing question of whether their unyielding stance is a stroke of genius or a recipe for stagnation. The central figure in this unfolding drama, the immovable object around which the entire offseason seems to revolve, is Jonathan Kuminga. His situation is a classic NBA conundrum. A young, immensely talented player with sky-high potential, but one whose role and trajectory within the Warriors' established system have been, at times, inconsistent. The initial expectation was clear. Kuminga, due for a new contract, would be the prime asset in a sign-and-trade, a vehicle to bring in that big-name, A-list talent that fans craved. It was a logical assumption, a clean way to retool while maximizing value. However, the latest insights from Sam Amick, as reported via Full Court Pass, have thrown a wrench into those well-laid plans. Amick reveals that the Warriors are showing significant resistance to moving two key players, Buddy Hield and Moses Moody. This isn't just a preference, it's described as a major obstacle to a potential Jonathan Kuminga sign-and-trade deal. Let that sink in. The very players that many assumed would be expendable, or at least negotiable, in a deal for Kuminga are now reportedly deemed untouchable by the Warriors' front office. This hardline stance has effectively brought Golden State's entire offseason to a grinding halt, transforming what was supposed to be a period of aggressive maneuvering into an agonizing waiting game. The Kuminga saga, far from being a simple transaction, has become a complex web of internal valuation, strategic stubbornness, and a test of wills within the organization. The question then becomes, why the unwavering commitment to Buddy Hield and Moses Moody? Hield, a sharpshooting wing, was acquired to bolster the team's perimeter shooting, an area where the Warriors have historically thrived. His ability to space the floor and knock down crucial threes is undeniable, and in a league increasingly dominated by outside shooting, his value as a specialist is clear. Perhaps the front office views him as an essential complementary piece, a veteran presence who can provide instant offense off the bench or even slot into the starting lineup when needed. His contract might be seen as manageable for his production, making him a more valuable asset to keep than to trade away for uncertain returns. Moses Moody, on the other hand, represents the younger guard, a homegrown talent still on his rookie contract. He's shown flashes of his potential, particularly on the defensive end, and his development has been a slow but steady burn. For a team that prides itself on drafting and developing talent, holding onto Moody could be a testament to their belief in his long-term trajectory. They might see him as a future two-way wing, a player who can contribute on both ends of the floor as he matures. Trading a young, cost-controlled asset with potential for a different veteran, especially if that veteran comes with a hefty price tag, might not align with their long-term vision. The resistance to moving Hield and Moody, therefore, isn't just about individual players. It's about the Warriors' internal assessment of their current roster's needs, their belief in player development, and their overall philosophy of team building. It suggests a deep-seated conviction that these players are more valuable to the team's immediate and future success than any potential return in a Kuminga-centric trade. This stubbornness, while perhaps rooted in a clear vision, has come at a cost: a complete lack of movement in a highly active offseason. While other contenders are retooling, signing free agents, and orchestrating trades, the Warriors remain conspicuously silent. This inertia is particularly jarring given the initial fan expectations. The collective anticipation was for a dynamic summer, a period of bold moves designed to propel the team back to the top of the Western Conference. Instead, we're witnessing a standstill, a strategic paralysis that leaves fans wondering what, if anything, is truly next for their beloved team. The implications of this inaction are significant. Players like veteran big man Al Horford, who could provide valuable depth and experience, are reportedly waiting on the sidelines, hoping for an opportunity to join the Warriors. But with the Kuminga situation unresolved and the team's stance on Hield and Moody seemingly unyielding, such opportunities remain elusive. The clock is indeed ticking, and the pressure on the Warriors' front office is mounting. Yet, despite the external noise and the internal anxiety, they are not budging. This steadfast refusal to deviate from their position, even in the face of mounting pressure and fan discontent, raises a critical question. Is this a calculated display of strength, a demonstration of unwavering conviction in their current assets, or a dangerous gamble that could leave them behind in the arms race of the NBA offseason? If the front office maintains its stance, if Hield and Moody remain untouchable, and if a Kuminga sign-and trade remains stalled, then the inescapable reality is that this team will look remarkably similar when the new season tips off. On the surface, this isn't necessarily a horrible thing. The core of Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, along with a developing Kuminga, assuming he's retained, still forms a formidable foundation. They've won championships with this core, and their collective experience and chemistry are invaluable. However, not horrible is a far cry from the A-list talent and significant retooling that fans had envisioned. The emotional impact on the fan base cannot be understated. After a season that fell short of championship aspirations, the desire for meaningful change, for a renewed sense of urgency, was palpable. To see the team stand pat, to watch other contenders strengthen their rosters while the Warriors remain static, can breed a sense of frustration and disappointment. It's a test of faith, a challenge to the patience of even the most loyal supporters. The question isn't just whether the current roster is good enough, but whether it's good enough to compete for a championship in a league that is constantly evolving and improving. The lack of movement, while perhaps a testament to internal belief, also carries the risk of being perceived as complacency, a dangerous sentiment for any team with championship ambitions. This offseason, more than any in recent memory, is shaping up to be a defining moment for the Golden State Warriors. Their unwavering stance on Buddy Hield and Moses Moody, and the resulting stalemate in the Jonathan Kuminga saga, is a high-stakes poker game. They are betting on the value of their current assets, on the internal development of their young talent, and perhaps on the idea that the right deal will eventually materialize on their terms. But as the clock continues to tick and the rest of the league solidifies its rosters, the margin for error shrinks. The pressure is immense, the expectations are sky-high, and the outcome of this unprecedented offseason silence will ultimately determine whether this period of inaction is remembered as a strategic triumph or a missed opportunity. As the summer winds down and the NBA landscape continues to shift, what's your take on this unprecedented Warriors silence? Do you believe their stubbornness is a sign of conviction or a dangerous gamble that could leave them behind? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because your insights are what make this community so vibrant. And if you found this deep dive into the Warriors' perplexing offseason as captivating as we did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for all the breaking news and in-depth analysis that keeps you ahead of the game.